On Tuesday night, on the 7th, you're going to hear from media saying the nominating process is over, Secretary Clinton has won. That is factually incorrect. The truth is that unless I am very, very mistaken, no candidate, not Hillary Clinton, not Bernie Sanders, will have received the number of pledged delegates, i.e. the real delegates that people vote for. Neither candidate will have received the requisite number of pledged delegates that he or she needs to become the Democratic nominee.
Senator Bernie Sanders challenging the way the race could be called for Hillary Clinton Tuesday night, even before the polls close in California. He's disputing the magic number of 2383 needed to win the nomination. Clinton is only 71 delegates away from hitting that number. Joining me now is Bernie Sanders' closest advisor and top strategist, his wife, Jane Sanders. It's great to see you again, Jane. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks, Andrea. Good to be here.
Well, the dispute over superdelegates, I mean, the Sanders campaign, Bernie Sanders, you have been arguing that superdelegates should vote the way the states go. You've won 20 states. You hope to win California. So your basic argument is that as California goes, so should go the superdelegates from that state?
Well, I think our basic argument is really just a fact that the way to win the Democratic nomination during the primary season is to get 2,026 pledged delegates. And Bernie's right. It doesn't look like either one of them will be able to reach that threshold after all the primaries are taken. Then it goes to the convention. And then, at the convention, the superdelegates weigh in. Our concern is that I've heard Chris Matthews and others say, well, we're going to call it at 5 o'clock. Well, you know, that's not okay, especially when Montana and North Dakota and South Dakota and California are all still voting. And it is not factually correct. That's all we're saying. Don't call something that's not true. Unless he says, I'm out of the race, there is not a Democratic nominee until the convention.
But if you lose California, and we've been reporting that it is really close, I would say almost a tie, according to my information, based on the Clinton campaign's polling and other polling. And we'll have more polling later today at 5 o'clock on MTP Daily Eastern. That said, we don't know what that poll will show yet, but it's going to be very close according to all of the indicators. And does that mean if it doesn't go your way, Bernie Sanders' way, will he then throw in the towel?
You know, he said all along that he's staying in until the convention. I think that I think the media is much more concerned about this than either candidate or Democrats. I just saw a poll that pointed out that 56% of the Democrats themselves wanted Bernie to stay in the race. In California, it really helps because there's a contest there, and that'll bring out Democrats to vote in that contest. It won't bring out Republicans, and that is going to help in how the Democratic race shapes up for the general, because they have this whole thing that the top two vote getters go against each other. We'll see a lot of Democrats going against each other, and Republicans won't have a chance in the general. So that's one just very good reason for California. I think you're not seeing either Secretary Clinton or Bernie going after each other in negative ways. You haven't seen that this entire race. And I think we're talking about ideas. We're still fighting for the ideas. He still wants to see a $15 minimum wage. He wants to end fracking. You know, there's a number of things that he wants to make sure are in the platform and hopefully be the nominee to carry it out. We won't know that unless somebody reaches the 2026 number on Tuesday.
What about Jerry Brown's endorsement? It was certainly grudging, less than ringing, but saying that he believes that Hillary Clinton is the best alternative, the best way to try to defeat Donald Trump, and Donald Trump would be a dangerous alternative. So that had to be a disappointment to you.
Well, we haven't met with Governor Brown, nor asked for his endorsement. I mean, we're used to having governors and senators and congressmen vote for or endorse Secretary Clinton, and we've just accepted that. He's definitely the anti-establishment candidate, but he's won 20 states, so the people have disagreed often. It's, you know, it's what it is.
But you and your husband are suggesting that you're suggesting that Jerry Brown is an establishment candidate like other governors? He's hardly that.
No, but I think that there is a lot of pressure on office holders to support Secretary Clinton, and that's fine. That's fine. It's not a problem. I do take issue with his analysis. I think that Bernie is the better person to go against Donald Trump, and all the polls keep on showing that. I saw MSNBC today. Bernie's the only one with a favorable rating. He has 37% unfavorable. Secretary Clinton has 57%. Donald Trump has 59%. He does well among independents, and that makes a difference. He's also, even in Vermont, has taken away a number of Republican votes, about 25% of the Republicans.
Do you really think that Governor Jerry Brown is responding to pressure?
No. I'm saying that I have trouble with his analysis, the reasoning that he raised. Governor Brown is entitled to his own opinion, and we respect that. There's no problem. But what I do have concern about is the media saying, really, from day one, Andrea, that the race was over, that really there wasn't any chance. A lot of states have proven that they disagree. Bernie's won 20. We expect to win at least half of the states in this country. And then it goes to the convention and superdelegates. We don't agree with the idea of superdelegates, but superdelegates we respect. They will take into account all the factors and make the decisions themselves, and we'll respect that.
And how would you feel if someone who shares a lot of your husband's views, Elizabeth Warren, ends up on a ticket with Hillary Clinton? She is reportedly being considered seriously.
I think a lot of people are being considered seriously, and we definitely want Secretary Clinton to pick a progressive, so that we can really, if she's the nominee, we want her to pick a progressive so that we can really stand behind and know that we're getting a strong platform, and we've transformed the Democratic Party over the course of this year. I mean,
well,
the agenda has changed.
There's no question about that. It has been transformative.
Well, and we hope that the most important thing is Donald Trump has to be defeated. He doesn't stand for what American values stand for. It's a surprise that he's the nominee of the Republican Party. And what we are going to do, no matter who's the nominee, if it's Bernie, I think we'll have an easier time of beating Donald Trump. If it's not, we're going to work very, very hard to make sure that occurs.
Jane Sanders, thanks. As always, it's good to see you again, ma'am.
Thanks, Andrea. Thanks for having me.